I think it's fair to say that in this life, throughout this life, one of the things which all of us do quite often, and which is not always something easy, is waiting. As they say, waiting is the hardest part of anything, really. But if you think about it, if you stop to think, especially in hindsight, about how much of your life you spend waiting, anticipating, looking forward to something, you start to realize that it doesn't matter at what point in your life you're in. That almost at times seems to be our default mode. When we're little, when we're young, we're waiting just to get a little bit older so we can have more freedom, so we can do more things. Waiting to get in junior high to be like those older kids. Waiting to get into high school so we can drive, so we can do the things that we've looked forward to all that time. Then all of a sudden, once we're there, we're waiting until it's time to graduate, go to college, waiting to be done with that, to get a job, waiting and anticipating for the right one, the right girl, the right boy to come in to your life so that you can find your spouse. Now you're there, and you have your kids, and you're waiting for them just to get a little older so things aren't quite so hectic in the house, so you can sleep a little bit more at night. Until, of course, they're in high school, then you're waiting for them to graduate so you're not worried all the time. Waiting for them to do and start their own lives. Then all of a sudden, we're waiting and anticipating for retirement. No more working. Let's finally be able to relax. And then all of a sudden, we realize we spent most of our lives waiting and anticipating for what's coming next. In many ways, we're now entering into the season of waiting, season of Advent. That word comes from the Latin adventus, for Christ who is coming, the one to come is what that means. We're waiting for him to come. Now, of course, we mean that in the grand scheme of things. As we hear in the readings, we are anticipating him coming again, all things being complete. But often in our own lives, when it comes to our faith, we enter that same mode. I'm waiting for God to show me his plan for me. I'm waiting for him to send his grace to me so I can fully experience the faith. I'm waiting to get rid of this doubt, this anxiety. And here's the thing, this is the other thing about Advent, and it's really encapsulated in our second reading today from the book of Romans. When Paul says, I know you're waiting for him, but guess what? Now's the time. We've been asleep, waiting for too long. It's time to wake up, and it's time to remember that God's grace for us is not in the future, it's in the present. And how important it is that at any point in our lives, that we start to focus on the here and now. Yes, it's always good to prepare for the future, to plan, to be ready, to do whatever it is you need to do to be ready for what comes. But most importantly of all, to experience the present, the moment now. What God has in store for you right now, and to experience the joy of right now. I can guarantee you in 10, 15, 20 years, that version of yourself is going to look back now and say, man, I wish I was still back then. Time flies too fast. The opportunities that God might have been giving me, that I wasn't fully enjoying, experience, living in the now. And one of the things about Advent that we are reminded of is even as we look forward to the next 4 weeks to celebrate Christmas when it comes, that there's plenty to celebrate in this season now. Because ultimately Christ has already come 2,000 years ago. Ultimately Christ has already entered into your life. And right now, you are about to experience him in his fullness in the Eucharist, here and now, in the present. We then take that, we experience that joy, and we go forth into this world, not always waiting and anticipating, but living in the moment of God's grace, and experiencing that joy. So as we begin this liturgical new year, as we begin this season of Advent, let us see it as a time to awaken, as a time to renew ourselves and recommit to those things that we desire to do, to enjoy our lives, to experience the joy of our family, our friends, our church community to experience God's grace and to take whatever it is he gives us today and to act as if it is the only day. Because each and every day is a gift in the first place. And each and every day, I guarantee you, we are called to something, even if it's simply to experience the joy of God's love and to grow closer to him.